early game, and from then you can snowball, because we already have seen how strong Ho-Ho can be in the game. Why not push him ahead?
Well, here we go. Game 2 getting underway. One win here for WLGaming will take them to the main stage. Anno trying to play spoiler, trying to keep their own chances alive. Will they be able to do it in this second game? No shenanigans there coming out from Anno. We do see a bit of a stacked bush from WLGaming, but they're not going to go and play for more than that. They will just quickly recall. And we see a deep ward placed there from Anno into the top red side jungle of Brunes. We'll see if that can lead to them getting some big early advantages. Sejuani going to be starting on the bot side, so Spooky going to be parking top. Like you said, 3 ganks can be there. Will it be the payoff? We'll have to find out.
I also want to see if Anno will leash for Spooky, because we've seen it sometimes, especially when he plays all those farming champions. Right now, of course, it's not a farming champion, but it could still help him get out ahead of the curve. Zero will do so for Brunes. Of course, it's on vision. He will also tank a couple of hits very generously for his jungler to make sure that he will get as quickly as possible to that level 3, level 4, and to that level 6 power spike. On the other side, Vladi places a beautiful ward to see him. Now, the only invade is, of course, the Heimerdinger special. You want your team to be ahead there to make sure that you can place your turrets without any disruptances. You will not get caught out of position. We're trying to set up, and we already see how annoying he is, because Jairus is only focusing on last hitting, and Bananito has already taken a lot of golden toast HP for this point in the game.
Heimerdinger, one of the most frustrating champions to play against. It is just frustrating, you know.
Yep.
But we'll see how they do deal with it. Again, not the longest range to deal with it. Oh, so much damage. Golden toast. That is horrible to deal with. And as we said, there's no long range in this bot lane. They can't really just push out and kill those towers. If you had a Xerath support, maybe you can just smoke them and they're gone. But this is going to be a bit of a rough one. And Bananito, if they can just keep this Jinx down and behind, as we said, if Golden Toast can't get to those marks, he's never going to become a late game problem.
Yeah, for real. And this spoke in a real conundrum. We saw him wanting to take a creative path towards the bot side, trying to get his bot ahead, trying to punish the over-aggression that the Heimerdinger often shows, but they were in such a bad situation that he knows if he ganks, they'll just take a kill and get even further ahead. So right now, he's really behind in his clear. We see it's 16-16, because it's really easy to take the holes, but in reality, Brunes is half a camp or a whole camp ahead and can just push this advantage. He'll most probably get the bottom side crab, and I want to see if he will try to find a counter gank, or maybe even a gank on the bot side, when Anno will try to just all in to get away from this aggression from the Heimerdinger.
Yeah, potions used by Golden Toast has got him a lot of his HP back, but the risk of a Wukong gank could pose pretty menacing, as they are still quite close to their tower, so it doesn't look like they're just going to re-forward Bloody and Hall having a bit of a scrap in this mid lane. Bloody going to take slightly more out of that trade than he would have maybe liked, but all in all, not going to be too concerned. As up to the top side, Spooky is going to maybe attempt for their first gank win. We talked about how this is a pretty easy setup. It should be one that can be played through. However, you do still need to be careful, because Sion not going to be punished, and this is very reminiscent of last time. Zero is going to be making their way back to the tower, going to be stunned up here. A lot of damage is coming down. I don't think enough though, and Brunes now making their play is going to force Anno away.
And if Spooky would have hit that Glacial Assault, everything would have been different. But for some reason, I just feel that Sejuani doesn't suit him, but in the bot side.
What is going on? Jairus, they're going aggressive. Levi demonstrated a tiny bit of damage back, and Bananito was pretty low before we even panned down. 2 summoners used by Golden Toast, Ignite also used by Levi, whereas Jairus still sitting pretty happy with that flash. Bananito did lose their flash as well, so a lot of summoners expended. We'll have to see if the junglers are now drawn to this bot lane.
This is naturally how the lane is supposed to go. If you're getting pushed out, if you're getting poked out by a champion, you just wanna all in, right? Wrong. It's really hard to all in into the Heimerdinger, especially if you cannot kill the turret. And right now, it takes a lot of mana to kill all those turrets, plus vision in the brushes where they usually are. So he plays in and out of those brushes and just gets you poked out time and time again. Now, of course, they'll get some minion backs, but we see that Jero still has two of his potions, and can still play really aggressively without ruining his economy. Now on the top side,
Oh, okay. Good.
Alif has not backed, so I don't know where he's trading.
He's trading pretty heavily there. Zero able to confidently win that one. Good thing the Rupture is a spell and is going to give Cho'Gath a lot of distances. Right now, WLGaming going to go for this early Drake here. A bit of a flip of the script there. Lano in the first game was the one in full control. I'm going to see it from the other side. But Anno not going to be too pressed by this. I think they're going to be pretty content with the fact that the game is all even. And especially in that bot side. Hopefully they can just try and get a little bit... I leave it?
Just check. Hey, is there anything going on here? Yes? Okay, go ahead. But yeah, for sure, they're really content that they're still in the game. They're not that far behind. They know that they have some scaling options in this game. They got a lot of good AD damage dealers from a lot of range. AP, not so much, to be honest. You're gonna have to commit to the flat AP ratios that Cho'Gath can possess. But since we're not having any action and this dive is not getting pulled off by WLGaming, do you know... No, never mind. Okay, no action. Do you know a fun fact? Do you see those 3 flowers around Heimerdinger?
Yeah.
This is the number of turrets he can place.
Mm-hmm.
So if he gets less flowers, that's less turrets. That's for everyone playing their solo queue games. If you see a Heimerdinger without flowers, or it's how's it called? Not screws drivers. It's the one you screw in the main skin. That means he has no turret and you can commit on him.
Yeah, the bolts are pretty powerful, and Heimerdinger, man, what a champion. Well, let's see how it gets ganked, because Heimerdinger obviously notoriously difficult to actually gank as well, especially if he has the setup for Spooky too. The fact that he's melee going to add to that difficulty factor as well. But it does look like Spooky is pretty determined to go there. Going to be on the bot side of the map. Maybe looking to get in on the corner. There we go. There's the stun. And a lot of damage drops down quickly. But they haven't killed him off yet. One more will get it. Golden Toast with the first blood. And Anno breathe a bit of life into their chances of winning this game.
And that's a really good ultimate from Spooky. You know that Benanito has no flash, so no chance of survival over there. That's the first time I see him actually make use of that really good Sejuani power spike. And that's really good news for the side of Anno, because Jinx really needed that extra influx of cash. She wants to get all her items. It's so expensive. She wants to get some attack speed first, and she's behind the Xayah. Right now, they're pretty even. It just bugs and maybe even rotates towards the Herald. But if they manage to sneak away the Herald right now, I mean WLGaming, and Jero stays on bot and gets a couple of plates, that's disaster for Anorthosis.
WLGaming moving up to this Herald. They're going to get another knockup onto Benanito, but Bloody is there as well. So we'll have to be a little bit cautious, but 5 versus 4 right now. They're trying to push WLGaming away from this. Brunette's going to have to leave the pit eventually, and Anno will be able to claim this Herald. So, big movements from Anno, being the more clinical side, it now feels like, as they're able to get some map rotations that actually give them a big advantage.
Yeah, it's really weird. WLGaming did not respect the rotation power. Of course, Spooky still had no ultimate, so they could play around that. But on the other hand, Vladi had no mana, so he could steal away with a hijack the quickness. He could maybe use the quickness and then nothing. He just sitting duck, waiting to be assassinated from the other side. And with Alif still had access to that face, they knew that they could not just flip it. Any 50-50 would for certainly go to the side of the Cho'Gath. So I'm not sure why they went there. They just did what I like to call the tourist attraction objective, but on the... Wait.
Zero. Looking for this kill, not going to be able to get it just yet. The big slam!
Woo!
The minions! The shield going to come in. The rupture just slightly short, and this healing is absolutely insane. Going to get quite a little bit back off of that trade, but Spooky is here. Has had a pretty good game. There's the flash gone. Now going aggressive, has the ultimate back, and the whip will take down his Zero. Another kill for Anno.
Spooky's back, baby, and they also got the flash out of Hezero, of course. That also fulfills the prophecy that when Hezero dies in the top lane, then they win the game. But this time, it wasn't a lot. Oh no, it was registered as solo kill. Never mind, the prophecy. WLGaming, congratulations for going into the main stage. There's no way Anno can win this game.
You did say it in the last game, and it did come true. So I'm a little bit of a believer in that one now. It's yeah, maybe you just have to stay away from topside. But either way, back on the bottom lane, I Levy and WLGaming are gonna scrap it out. I would mention Golden Toast in that one, but I feel like they were just running. Although saying that after the fight, drops a lot of poke damage. Jairus now half HP. Brunes maybe now dissuaded from going to this gank, but Spooky is also in the vicinity. And we saw how that one went last time.
Yeah, and right now Anno seems to be getting some momentum, seems to be getting some of their psychological powers back. They seem to be feeling strong in every lane, and that's what worked for them. They're quite heavily ahead. 105k at the 10-minute mark is a good lead to have, especially with some of those champions like Jace. If you're ahead of your enemy, you always feel that you can solo kill them 1v1 anyone in the game. So it's really nice for them to have, especially with some late game power waiting in the back pocket. What they need to do, they need to capitalize on a good Herald right now and start getting raked. Because yes, the next rake is just the Cloud Rake. It isn't the most important rake, but in my opinion, it's one of the best drakes to have as a single rake. Because you know it's not going to be your soul, and you also know that for the rest of the game, you'll have a small ghost in your back pocket.
We're not talking about Casper, even in chat. We're talking about the Summoner spell.
Not even Team Phantasma.
Cool. That would be cool. Maybe we need some pets in League of Legends. You know, maybe that's the. I know they dropped the jungle ones. Maybe we need some more like a.
Everyone gets like an animal companion.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But right now, talking about animals, we're going to get a bit of a beast of a fight. Oh, WLGaming were going aggressive, but Spooky able to evade, and that is the Cyclone down. So Brunes doesn't have ultimate for this next fight. This could be a big opening for the side of Ammo to take this dragon.
I think he tried to force the flash from Spooky, but he found a really cheeky angle to get out with the Glacial Assault. And it's really weird because you're committing a whole teamfight ultimate for the enemy tank. He has a lot of HP. He will not get that quickly shred down with just one spell. So I'm not sure what Brunes is doing, but Spooky has gotten in his head and he's right getting ahead. He's getting, as his name states, really spooky in this game because he manages to find small edges for Anorthosis left, right and center.
They are starting to stack up now. About 1.5k gold lead over to the side of Anno. Almost 13 minutes on the clock. And we have used the Herald. It was dropped mid there to get a couple of plates. And they are starting to open up this map. So Anno, much better performance right now. I'm liking them on this slower gameplay than having to try and force a win.
And let's see if they manage to still get all those steady leads, because that is not usually the Anno way. Okay, let's just make some things clear. When Anno wins, they usually win explosively. Even against Papar Supermassive, when they threw and then had to claw their way back in a 50-minute game, it was still explosive. Every fight they won, it was boom, bam, and they get kills like here.
Oh, another one going to come out, and goodbye to Banalito one more time. And I want to back up your point with that one as well. In the regular not regular season, but in the group stages of this tournament so far, the EMEA Masters, Anno were 1,490 gold ahead of any team at 15 minutes. So they were always ahead, they were always leading these games, and every time they were leading, they also won. So yeah, very much explosive, not this slow style that we're seeing at the moment. That is an average, by the way, people in chat. As right now, WLGaming, they are slowly losing this lead, and this lead is building decently fast, and I wonder how they're going to get into this, right? They had the early Drake, they had those early momentum plays. Are they once again waiting for that team fight?
Let's see what happens, because if the team fight... Oh,
I have maybe cast the curse for here. He is going to flash away and does get to safety. Almost getting cursed.
Almost getting cursed. We have one power as casters and we abuse it on the daily, it seems, to curse some poor teams. But let's see, because we still have a second Herald coming out shortly. We're right now close to the 15-minute mark. I think it comes within the next 30 seconds. Maybe we'll see a fight there, because Brunes still has his ultimate. He has his flash. Jairus also. All of the summer spells from the side of WLGaming are up. That is not the same for Anno. Spooky just now will regain access to his ultimate. Levi as well, but he doesn't have his flash. Ho-Ho has no summoners, so they can capitalize on that. they can find those immobile picks, those picks who do not have all those precious little summoners, and just blow them off the face of the map. Will they do it? Because right now, I don't see them gathering around the Herald, and there's a big Alif, level 11 with a level 2 feast, coming to feast on some exotic void crab.
Yeah, Bananito is going to be moving up, maybe leading the charge of his team to try and contest for this Herald, because as you said, Aleph is just quite happily taking this one down. Spooky will give him a bit of assistance, but they are going to most likely secure this, and WLGaming seem almost content with letting this happen. They haven't even moved Jairus up to the top side, and Zero not even walking down. So they are just going to give that Herald. It's another play over to Anno, another potential win for them. They can utilize that Herald to maximum potential. The turrets can go down, but there is Bloody good aggressive. Now going to be able to get a lot of damage onto Hohor, and Hohor maybe finally falling down. The Ignite is ticking. No flash for them. They will fall. And Cyclone used for Brunes. Maybe a little bit overzealous there, no necessarily needing the ult, but a kill is secured for the side of WLGaming.
Yeah, and I think the overzealous was from the side of Hoho because they had no reason to contest there. Yeah, I know they were trying to contest help Golden Toast not get dove, but they could take the long route. You could make sure with some blue trinkets, which right now I see there's none in the inventory, so maybe they wanted to face check, but do that with your spells. The cooldowns are not as long, especially when you're building all that CDR as the Jace. On the other side, very well done for the side of WLGaming to recognize that, hey, this is illegal, you have overstepped, you cannot be here. We're gonna see it there again because Vladi comes in, steals the ultimate, and finds the flashless Jace, who cannot do anything but get some of the wave back.
Sold out here without flash. That's what I'm hearing. You need flash in a lot of these game or big game moments. When that cooldown is down, those next 5 minutes are very, very treacherous to everyone involved. As Jairus having quite a quiet game this time around. I feel like last game very much impactful. This time not really able to get too much.
Oh, Vladi.
Vladi though very much trying to stamp his name into this game, able to get a bit of worry going through Anno. The aggressive play there is Ilef now the one in the mid lane, overstepped. We talked about this overstepping from Anno. They're doing it again, out of position a couple of times, and these is what can cost them games.
I'm not sure if Aleph needed to flash over there. He's just a big dinosaur. He has a lot of mid to absorb a lot of damage, so his flash being down is way worth for WLGaming than them spending any of their cooldowns on the Cho'Gath. And I think they're just gonna trade objectives. The Drake will go 100% for the side of WLGaming. Can Anno get a second crash of this Rift Herald? Can they capitalize with something more? The Herald will crash, but they will not take the turret.
I almost felt like I was getting a replay there. You know, one team running it down mid, the other team in that side lane, not able to get close to the tower. But Anno do recompensate their Dragon loss here with 2 towers and an extra crash onto the mid tier 2. So, all in all, getting quite a bit of gold. But right now, they may have lost some of that gold back. 2 kills likely and secured over to the side of WLGaming there. They catch the bot duo in the mid lane, and that is all she wrote.
And as I was saying in the early game, you cannot really play the game as Jinx as any mobile ADC versus a Wukong. Brunes has the knowledge, has the mental capacity to just find these singular moments to punish you. He kills Golden Tones and he also gets both of his summoners down. Now, the next 3.5-4 minutes for the marksman of Anorthosis will be so hard to play, that he'll need to drop so many waves, and he's already, you were saying that Jairus is really quiet that game because he doesn't farm champions this time around, he's farming CS and he's 32 CS ahead.
32 CS up. I think the equivalent is something like 1 kill is equal to something like 15 CS, so obviously we're talking like 2 kills ahead, which would make them dead even. So gold wise, keeping up pretty much, even if not slightly ahead there. And Anno, it felt like they had what it takes, right? It felt like they had the momentum, they had the picks, they had the idea of how to win this game. They were executing on it really nicely. But WLGaming have stepped up. They've woken up, they've smelt the coffee, and they've started to find picks to aid them in their pursuit. Now, we're getting to 20-minute mark. This is about the start of the mid-game. How are you feeling in terms of a scaling prospect? Now, obviously, we talked about the 30-minute mark being important for WLGaming, but for Anno, are they on the right path to potential success?
I think they're scaling pretty similarly. Of course, it's always hard to say that you're scaling similarly versus a Jinx because the range is absurd with her Q being maxed out at the moment. Also, if you get any reset at any point in the fight, it can spell disaster for the other side. But you still have some options. What really troubles me once again for the side of Anno is their lack of magic damage. You only have the base magic damage from the Cho'Gath, the base magic damage from the Sejuani, and let's not forget that Sejuani mostly uses her W in her whip in a fight, and her whip does AD damage. So, right now, who's gonna kill her zero? I see Golden Toes going towards a Hurricane, which is okay because, you know, the damage from the rockets multiplies. 3 rockets are hitting simultaneously, and there are 3 melee from the side of WLGaming. But that means that they will need to use money to buy a Lord Dominic's Regard afterwards, and that means that the Infinity Edge spikes gets further and further delayed. Can you make sure that you will not misstep as you have done in the last 5 minutes of the game twice or thrice within a game and not get punished for the lack of the Infinity, for the lack of the LDR? That is the biggest question in terms of scaling, not the champions themselves for me.
No, good point there, well put. As we always talk about, ADCs having quite an expensive itemization. And 2 more items still being needed. This Vladdy, I don't think 4-4 goes to this. He's a level down. The wave's not on his side. But maybe, just maybe.
He waits it out. Oh, Rocket!
Oh, the rocket coming in! There's a lot of damage, Vladdy taking quite a bit and gets absolutely destroyed. Anno with the cross-map play. Respect.
That was an alley-oop in League of Legends if I've ever seen one. I am not sure I've seen a better alley-oop ever because, wow, that rocket actually predicted exactly where Vlad would have been and does exactly the damage for Ho-Ho to just one-shot the Sylas. And that means he doesn't get into any shenanigans. The level difference does not matter. Plus, he gets 300 crisp gold for him to get into the 3rd item. And the 3rd item most likely will be the Cyrilla's Grudge. And yeah, the damage is good, but the slow is so much better.
And I feel like Vladdy was just chilling there, farming up some creeps, having a nice time. Boom! Rocket you in the face. You're like, what the hell? Like, that's a bit of a weird run. And then dead. Just dead. Like, GG, it's over. Ho-Ho was on the case, ready to erase him from the map. As right now, WLGaming positioning around this top side, but it almost feels like there's not the space they want to be in, right? 20 seconds on this dragon. Surely that is what they're going to be fighting for. It is the second Chemtech break right now. An aggressive play from Anno. Levi going to be able to get the charm onto Brunes, as Hetero did charge forward into this fight. It's now a 5 versus 5, and so far, no one really taking too much damage. Banito, the only one slightly low. We'll have to see if the cooldowns used are going to cost either side. Jero's taking a big shock blast to the face here. Both teams just pivoting around this dragon, trying to get into the river and slowly walk their way down. It is going to be WLGaming that make their way there first, but they're split 2 and 3. This could open Anno. Potentially get an aggressive player. Spooky gets the pick, finds 1, gets 2, and they're going to take them down. WLGaming trying to make the play back. The Cyclone is holding them off, but only for so long. Genos is going to have to go up into the air. He does root down the Cho'Gath, but they are trying to get on top of this Xayah. The wall is being held sturdy, though, and Anno are going to have to run back away as Hezero now stepping forward. Anno looked so good, took 3, but they can't get the final 2. TP going to be coming in now. They're going for round 2. Ho-Ho making their way down, but Jedos could potentially hold this back, although I think it's just going to give this now, realizing there's a little bit too many members from Anno. Almost making the fight beside of WLGaming.
Yeah, almost, but on the other side, they almost gave away a free Baron as well, because there's a Jinx on 2 items, the attack speed is there. She was so excited in that fight, you could hear her screaming, yelling, laughing all the way from here in the Summer's Rift, and managed to get so much damage done. But the whole initiation from Spooky and iLevi getting 2-3 people down, that's what made the fight for Anno, because afterwards, if you see Jairus, his kiting is impeccable. Gale Forces, the Rupture, 3,000 feathers down, all pulled together, pulling apart the HP bars for Anno, but that was not enough, because the initiation was once again, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss indeed. That was some special sauce there, able to really finesse their way through that play, but WLGaming able to keep himself alive once again. And that's kind of been the story of a lot of these team fights. A lot of team fights gone the way of a 3-2 or like a 4-2. It's like a lot of people are still very much alive, and the teams can very much keep playing the game without losing it all. And I feel like a tiny amount of damage away from essentially taking a Baron as well and really wreaking havoc on this game. I can't even think of the word now. I'm trying to say taking control, but claiming, that's what I was trying to go, claiming control of this game, but unfortunately they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. One more team fight is going to be needed, but they did pick up the dragon to even it all out.
And one more team fight or one more pick, because that's also really important. Remember, they have the Choga, they have the extra smite, which is always fully charged to its maximum. You cannot outsmite the Cho'Gath, and pretty soon he's going to be level 16. That level 3 feast does wonders for his smite potential. So they might even just 50-50. Vlad is there, and he's going to get pincered.
The revenge. Oh, he wanted to get revenge on to the top side. But Golden Toast in big trouble. Gets caught out here. Now going to go down. They've already taken one. Brunes now moving on to Isla, who is trying to find someone to kill. Jeddah's going to go super low with the feast, but not going to go down. 2 found for WLGaming. And have they found the pick to turn this all around? Anno still posturing very aggressively on the top side, but they don't have very much damage here. They need to be super careful as in goes the engage. WLGaming pushing them away, trying to secure a Baron attempt for themselves. Spooky going to get knocked up. The stuns are coming out to buy a bit more time, but Anno do not have the threat they need. They cannot kill off WLGaming right now, but they may have done enough to stop them from going for Baron.
They for sure have that enough, because Golden Dust now respawns. He also has the super mega death rock, and that's also better than the smite at this moment. If he managed to hit anyone, the splash damage have stolen so many Barons along the years, so many highlight reels, so they know they overchased, they wanted to fight, they didn't want to leave Spooky around the area to be able to do a 50-50, and they lost their window for the Baron. But Vladi did find revenge, not in the face of Ho-Ho, but in the face of the rest of Anno, because he slithered in that little brushy bush. He was so silent, and like one more snake, he managed to get 2 kills in his little cardboard box, unseen by anyone else. However, the lead is still in Anno's sides for 2k and something, and they still have the first say over who takes the Baron.
First say is theirs, and they're going to use it aggressively. Levi going to force Jeddah to use his ultimate immediately. Featherstorm is now down. A very impactful ultimate indeed, and that opens up Anno to go for more aggressive plays, because WLGaming now have to be even more cautious about these fights. Anno have started the Baron now. They're going to keep this play alive. They want to use this forward momentum to force WLGaming into a bad spot, but WLGaming ready to respond, clamping up as 5, starting to walk forward. Trap's going to buy a bit more time, and Anno have left the Baron. They were forced him away for now, but Spooky looking for the engage here, gets the whip, but it's not going to get the slow. WLGaming walk back to the mid lane.
Jero still has a flash, but let's remember, this game he does not play with a cleanse, and that's really important, because one Glacial Tomb spends not only his death, but the death of his team's chances. And how did that not cancel the reset? Hello.
There's like a 0.2 or 0.3 second time where you're actually back in base before you even go down. But right now, talking about back in base, it might be a 0 that could be next. Or they're saying that very tanky, takes a lot of damage, does not die. Kind of going back to your point about there's no AP damage from this side. It is all AD, and until Jinx gets the LDR, it does feel like their cutting damage is not going to suffice. Zerasto stepping up, gets knocked up by the Rapture. Anno just holding off the side of WLG to allow for the space.
Oh, look at the Brunes.
Maybe a little bit short. Ho-Ho in trouble here. They're able to flash away, gets the distance. And a good Glacial Presence will slow down a lot of WLG. Again, Jinx still just taking this dragon, and they're going to slay it off. WLG not able to claim anything, and they have lost a Drake. But now moving up to Baron. Maybe this is their time to shine. Can they push the pedal to the medal? Will they force Anno into a tricky situation? Haziro holding the line, keeping them from walking straight around this, but isn't going to be able to hold them off for long enough. Baron is going to go back to resetting, And ooh, a bit more damage from the rocket. It's going to force WLGaming away. But now, we've seen this before, Rev. We've seen this play before.
Yep.
Tower going to go down. Excited is going to go Jinx. Can they keep this one moving? Anno, split across this top side. They need to be careful they don't get picked here.
Yeah, Spooky wants to join for his things, maybe even just tease some damage into the mid lane tower, but Zero finds an angle.
Zero is in the mixer. Able to get the knock onto Spooky. Now here comes the damage, and Spooky goes down immediately. WLG have found a pick, and a big one at that. The jungler is gone. Does this open them for the big objective?
Vladi has the teleport. They know that Ellipse is still in the area, still has the flowers. It's still pretty risky, but they have the numbers advantage. It's now or never. Golden Dove still has no access to the Super Mega Death Rocket. There's still the number advantage for the side of WLGaming. They need to at least push Anno to the limit, push them to come into those tight little spaces and then win the team fight, if not just take the Baron. But Anno will just accept their loss, take their loss, and then try to win the game later on.
Oh, a big blow to Anno. WLGaming finding that pick onto Spooky, getting the Baron, stops the brakes on their advance. We talked about how Anno have been setting up so nicely this game. They've been giving themselves all of this room to move, but anytime they give WLGaming an inch, they take a mile, and they push them so far back on their game plan. They're going to have to start working at this once again. However, they do have the scaling, like we said. They are still very much in this game. Jinx now 1 item away from being 4 items and the monster that we have talked about.
Not even 1 item. Right now she's half an item away. She needs just that agility cloak and the recipe for the LDR. And from that moment on, she is a real threat. However, what else is a real threat is a Wukong, a Sion, a Sylas, everyone sticking on top of her, because if they manage to get on top of the Jinx, she cannot play the game. It's illegal for her to even right-click ahead, but there's a catch.
Bloody gonna go to stasis, but the HP is so low. He's gonna be taken down, and now it could be more Brunes. Also gonna get caught out here. This could be the moment. This is it. They're going aggressive. They're looking for the sun. They get it, but the blood gets them away. WLG will survive another day, but will they? Will they get out of this? Zero is now the one that is caught out. WLG have overextended so much, but there is the unstoppable onslaught. And WLG, they live.
And that's such an important pick. Not only you get Vladi, not only you manage to get so much HP from Brunes, but you get so much time. Look, the Baron timer spells 4 minutes 15 seconds. That means that they only have 1 minute 15 seconds to capitalize on that neutral objective. That's nothing. Right now, the Baron power play is close to 0 for the side of WLGaming and only has given them time. Look, whenever Anno is ahead, they do press the pedal on the metal and they get another turret on the back of this play.
Another turret secured. Without the Baron, not what we would have expected straight away. They're also only 1 dragon away from this Chemtech. So a minute before that one spawns, Anno can regain a lot of tempo in this game. They can take back this lead. And especially if WLG are going to give them free picks like they did just then. So cool heads needed from everyone in this game. Anno trying to get themselves in a good position. 57 seconds before the dragon is up. WLG looking like they're setting up already.
They're making sure they're doing their fast recalls, getting as many items as possible, maybe even some pots. This could be the last fight of the game. Both of those teams have really good pushing potential, so they know if they get an ace, they can just straight up rip up, open up the enemy base. Unstoppable Onslaught will not hit.
Close. Try to swerve it around that wall, not going to be able to land. Golden Toe staying alive. The first threat avoided. WLG now trying to get a bit of space into this dragon. 20 seconds before, and it looks like Anno are going to play a very similar game that they did before.
Look at Vladi, look at Vladi, look at Vladi.
Here is the fight. Vladi, as you said, on the back line, going behind Ho-Ho. Up into the sky goes Generous. He is going to have to play a bit of a waiting game, but Vladi now going to have to go into stasis as they are just keeping this front-to-back team fight alive. On the side is Golden Toes just popping off damage, and they have been untouched already. They're now starting to move forward, but WLG gives a bit of space for themselves. They're walking away, they're keeping themselves alive, and they are out for now. They're able to walk safely back a little bit longer, but maybe have given Anno enough room to take this Drake. Brunes is potentially the one that you've got your eyes on. Can he get a steal off 3,000 on the Dragon? It's going to be taken, and they have secured the soul.
Oh, it's such a close game. I'm getting jitters right now because Jinx was free to hit. She did not spend her flash. Nobody ever found in Vladdy. Tried to take the flank, tried to get engaged, but was forced to use his Zonias almost immediately. And it's still anyone's game. Ano has almost a 2k lead. That's nothing for the 36 minutes that right now we're running in this game, but they have a really important soul because they have the tanks, they have the members who, the lower you'll get them, the more damage you'll do, and usually you would just disrespect the Cho'Gath at this point, disrespect the Sejuani. You'll say they're just tanks, they're not scaling. No, if you get them to 20% HP, they can deal a significant chunk of damage to you, and you can never get that out of your mind. If you do, you just lose the fight, and if you lose the fight, you lose this game.
Game can't go on for much longer. Elder Dragon in 5 minutes, so if we get to 40 minutes, it is going to be up. Baron is going to be in 1 minute as well, and right now Zero is playing that split push game. We know about this Scion, but he's just going to run away, keeps himself safe, keeps himself alive, and that is what is important for WLGaming right now. They cannot lose anyone to a quick pick. Could end the game for them. Right now they are setting up around that Baron River, trying to hold the line, maybe looking for someone from Anno to overstep, but Anno are playing it cool, calm and collected. They are playing clinically, and they're not trying to lose anything, but there's the pick on Bananito. He's going to go down. We've seen it time and time again. Spooky has had his number with these frozen tombs, and another one will go down. The Glacial Prison to catch him out. The tower is going to drop. Inhib now going to be next on their list. Anno moving forwards and will get it off onto Head Zero. Now the charm going down. Son having to go into stasis. Brunes keeping very far away. Bloody also not able to get into this fight, and it is going to be another kill. Goodbye to Head Zero. 3 members for WLGaming hold the line, but can they do enough? They have to make a move at some point, but I don't know if they will be able to make the play. Brunes going aggressive, but not going to be able to get the damage down just yet. Cho'Gath holding strong. The tank is so big that they cannot get past it, and Anno will walk away. Inhib claimed. They've done what they need to. Brunes going super low. Going to have to go back to base here. Ticking out. Maybe he dies. Maybe he dies. He does not go down. Just about lives, but this opens them up. Baron in their sights.
Baron in the sights. Spooky has the smite. Aelif almost has access to the feast. Can WLGaming pull out the miracle still? Can they get back in the game? Because Anno right now holds the reins of this game.
WLGaming not going to find a pick onto the Baron. Not going to get a steal, but Jados could be the pick. I know they're going aggressive here. Feathers will buy him a bit of time. He logs up Aelif, but is he going to have enough? Brunes to try and switch it up, and a good flash out, but onto the back line. Every cable, but now Gonatos is excited, running forward. That's 1, that's 2. He's got the damage. That's going to be a in trouble. Will go down, or he may just about get away, but it doesn't make a difference because Head Zero is going to be next. He will get knocked up. He will be getting shredded, and he's silenced. His team is quiet because they have to leave. They have to run. The only chance they have is Vladdy to keep the base alive, but it looks like Anno will strike while the iron is hot.
And they have the Mega Minion, they have the Baron, they have everything they need to equalize the series as another Rumble Ultimate. They're looking so hot right now. What I said, they just need to be the opposite of Anno. They need to be calm and collected to win this game. And they were for 40 minutes straight. And there would be no replay of the GLL finals if they didn't go to Game 3 at least.
Game 3 underway. Nexus taken down. Anno managed